What's going on, everybody? What is going on, everybody? How's everybody doing today? I would like to, welcome you all back to We Ain't Goes. How y'all feeling? Y'all good? I hope everything is good. I hope everybody's been having a wonderful day, a wonderful week. The Hamptons in May is something to
Huge hair.
something to see about. The Hamptons in May, we are super busy in May. Every single May, we had a lot of things to celebrate. We had a lot of things going on. So I think we did do the season opener in May. Did we do that in May or was that April?
That was the end of April, I think.
Okay, yeah.
And
So
then the first week of May was
yeah,
your birthday. So
yeah,
we had to.
it was the birthday celebration. I had a surprise birthday party. So shout
Mm-hmm.
out to Hype Wife for getting that together. And then the next weekend was our
Couples
couples
retreat.
retreat, marriage retreat, whichever
Yes,
one we want to
marriage
call it.
retreat. Marriage
So
retreat.
it went absolutely amazing. We'll talk a little bit more about that later. And then I think the next week we did have a small break. We had to take a breather. But we still had birthdays to celebrate as well that next week. And then the week after that
Which was
was
just last week.
just last week was Cortez Jr. He just
His eighth
turned
birthday.
Yeah, he just turned 8 years old. So we had to celebrate our son. So all every year during the month of May, we are super like busy and booked. Just because that's
Who
just
told
how
us
our
to come
life.
back in May?
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. So that's why we took May. We kind of take May off, or we just kind of just get May together because we always plan so much. And now we back in June, man. This June 4th. It is the official season 2, episode 1. And we're gonna get to a lot of things, but first off, Hype Wife, how you feeling? How you doing? What do you have to say to the people? You ain't talked to them in a while. How you been, girl?
I'm good. I have my drink of choice today, which actually came from the couples trip. We had a little leftover wine slushies, so brought those back. Can't believe they haven't been gone already, but I forgot
Right.
they were in there. So we're having these today.
Yeah. I know, right? I know. So, absolutely. So that's how it goes for our show. If you guys don't know, so anytime you're listening to the show, what we always want you to do is post a picture of you drinking your drink of choice. So if you're a
Be
little
it
bit
water,
yeah, if you're a little bit younger than us and you just having water, that's fine. But if you're drinking wine, if you're having anything, post a picture so we
little
can, yeah, a
juice.
little juicy juice. Just make sure you post a picture of it so we can put it on We Ain't Goes because we love to support our listeners. So if we can support you all in any kind of way, because you guys listen to us every single week when we are doing our seasons, then we want to do something for you all as well. So your choice or anything, just make sure you do it, and we will make sure we repost you on our Instagram and on our Facebook page.
Speaking of supporting our listeners, we still do have the local loot segment, so you all can still send things to us, DM us, email us, wingoes@gmail.com. Any products that you have, give us a little blurb about your product, and we will showcase it here on the show.
Absolutely. So make sure you send that in to the email address. Is that what you said?
wingoes@gmail.com, or you can just DM us on Facebook and Instagram as well.
Absolutely. So we want to make sure we get that going. And then also don't forget that What's Your Motivation is out right now. Okay. So the album is streaming. It is doing so well right now. So shout out to all the fans of Teza Too Deep and everybody that is doing, supporting in any kind of way. We shot a music. Oh yeah, we shot a music video.
Oh yeah, one of them
so
weeks.
so we shot a music video. I think the week of my
Actually,
birthday.
on your birthday.
Yeah, on my birthday, we
Yeah.
shot the "You With It, I'm With It" music video. So that's actually out right now. So you can make sure you tune into that. Hype Wife made a cameo in that video, so please make sure you check
All
that
up
out.
through it.
Yep, and I think we have that posted on our We Ain't Goes page. So please on Facebook. So please make sure you check that out. Tez Too Deep on all social media and www.isupporttez.com. So now that we got those things out the way, it is time for some We Ain't Goes. I know y'all missed the conversation. I know that y'all just like, yo, where y'all been at? Because we've been going through it and we need somebody to talk it out. You know what I mean? And that is
We are here for you.
Yes, and that is what we do. We talk it out. Talk it out, talk out everything. So Today we're going to talk about. I had my pastor voice. Y'all hear that? Today,
Today.
yeah. Today we're going to talk
Okay.
about what did you expect?
Hmm.
Too deep. So what did you expect? What did you expect? And how we're gonna go from this is we're gonna probably talk about maybe a couple questions, and we're gonna share some conversation with that. As always, feel free to comment, feel free to ask questions, feel free to be like, hey, I got a statement, or whatever the case may be. What about when? And we would definitely speak about those things as well. So what did you expect? This is a cool conversation because when we went on our couples or marriage retreat, this is actually one of the topics that we talked about during the retreat. And I
The
thought,
retreat was so good. Just
yes, yes.
opening up.
I don't think people understand like this is this is probably not the first time, but it's really cool to get around people who are similar to you through relationships, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you had a bunch of people that got together that actually are invested in being, proactive, productive wives and productive husbands and proactive husbands.
And
You know what I
just
mean?
continuously working on their marriage.
Yeah.
That was our common goal.
Yep. And through all the trials and tribulations, and everything that, everybody goes through. And one thing that I thought was really interesting about our retreat is that each couple had their own story. And their story made their relationship powerful.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, no matter what a couple was going through, no matter what kind of adversity that they had faced, I don't even know if they even realized that it was just magical for them to be together and stay together through all of that. I mean,
Right.
we had so many different type of couples there. And when I say different type of couples, I don't mean skin color or race. I mean
Just
just
life
background. Yeah.
walk.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And like it was just a really, really great experience. And I think that I know we always do trips with couples and y'all call it a couples retreat, but don't do nothing
But
coupley on the
nothing.
retreat.
Okay.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Because that's the thing. We had sit down sessions daily. Maybe sometimes twice a day. Actually, we implemented date nights in there, and the wives got to know each other. The husbands got to know each other. So it was more than just, oh, we're going out of town together and shopping.
Yeah.
So it was a real therapeutic for me anyway.
Yeah, yeah. I think it was therapeutic for myself as well. And I think for everybody that experienced it. So I appreciated all the couples that took the time out of their schedule and took it seriously. That's what I liked.
Yeah.
Everybody took it
Everybody
seriously. I
participated.
mean, like the first night, the first night when everybody comes in, you kind of like, hey, I don't know
Mhm.
everybody. But no, they came in like, yo, what's up? This is us, and this is how we gonna do it, and we goofy, and you know what I mean? This is what my wife does. This is what my husband does. You know what I
Oh
mean?
Lord,
You
that
know,
Thursday night
yeah,
was
Thursday night was epic. So that first night was absolutely epic. And for all our listeners right now, we are going to do it again. Like
yes.
that.
So that was inaugural.
Yes, yes,
So we
absolutely.
would love to do this yearly. Um, Time of year might change. We don't know. Just depending on the need. So
Hmm.
yeah, we might do twice a year. Just a lot of people hit us up after that and say, "Oh, I need to be a part of that next one." So
And they will be, what I'm
yeah,
saying? Just make sure you pay on time because we don't Hamptons. Look, we ain't playing around, y'all.
I just try to put the schedule out there early enough because life happens.
We
So
know. We know
yeah.
life happens. So
So
what did you expect? Like, what did you expect? So
of
like
your spouse, is
of
that what you're saying?
I mean, what did you expect about your relationship? Of course, about your spouse. I think that is a natural conversation that you always have with your spouse. But actually, like one of the questions that we wanted to get straight into was what do you expect about your spouse? What do you expect your spouse to do or say in certain or even act in certain situations? So for example, you know, say if you're feeling like say if you're feeling like there is a disconnect between you and your spouse, right? And you don't know exactly what that could be. One of the things that we always turn to and we're big fans of it is our love language, right?
Oh yeah, and we retook those recently
Yeah, yeah,
also.
we retook those as well. But I'm saying, so when you expect something of somebody, you need to know what they want. And I tell this, I actually had a husband that called me a couple weeks ago, and he was struggling because he didn't know what his wife's expectation was of him at the moment. You know what I mean? Like he was struggling with like, okay, I'm working, I'm doing this, I'm trying my best to take care of the kid, I'm trying to, do all of these things, but it seems like she just wants something and I don't know what it is. So, one of the things that we always say is do your love language test. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And then
Um,
and then talking about those results gets you to spark up what expectations you may have had, because I know I probably won't just come straight out and say I expect you to do this, this, and that. But if we take the test together and we see where our numbers pop up, that'll spark up, oh, I see that we match on this level. We have the same expectations. So what I thought I was gonna get out of you, you're expecting the same thing from me. So I like that test.
the word that pops up in my mind is clarity, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like you always looking for a way to be clear. So when I think of expectations, I immediately think clear. I'm like, okay, what is it that you need me to do in this situation? So we could break it down from, of course, like I said, with the love languages and things like that, but it could be something as simple as things that's getting on your nerves, right? So this is how strategic sometimes you have to be with your expectations. So it can be, let's go with the love language and say acts of service is one of your things, right? And you want certain things, you want the house clean, you want things to be done for you without asking for them to be done, right? But you don't know how to communicate that to your
Yeah.
spouse, right? So your spouse comes home, let's say your spouse comes home, or your spouse is been at home, or whatever the case may be, and they're just naturally just going through their day. They're not doing anything intentionally to hurt your feelings. They're just going through, every single day and what they usually do, their routine of the day. But during their routine of the day, something about their routine gets on your nerves. And that could be when they come home and they sit down and just chill, or if they come home and not even pay anybody else attention, they just do whatever it is that they're doing, or vice versa, they come home and nothing is done. You know what I mean? So there's so many ways that you can have a conversation about that without immediately getting into an argument. I think a lot of times I think a lot of time people wait until they're mad to say something.
Yeah. And I was gonna say, even if they're upset, the word expectation can come off as negative sometimes.
Mm,
So
good point.
as soon as you say, I expected you, I came home from work, I expected you to have this, this, and that
Mm,
done, then it
mm,
feels like an attack
that's good.
more than anything.
Yeah.
Instead of, babe, please, when I get home, can you please have such and such done?
Or even when you say things like, hey, you know what I notice that you do, or what I think would be better, for us, what I mean? Because it's always good when you having a conversation with somebody using key words like us and we
This would be
and
better
things
for
like that.
our
Yeah, I think
routine.
this would be better for our routine if I'll take out the trash, or can you sweep when at some point in the day, or just when you get home, or it doesn't even
Yeah.
have to be expectations of just chores. It can be
That's what I was
expectations
gonna
of
say.
give me a hug and a kiss when you walk in.
That's
You know
what
what
I
I'm
was gonna
saying?
say.
Greet me when you walk in. Don't just walk straight past me like you haven't seen me all day and you're not gonna greet me when you walk in the door.
Mm-hmm.
So many things that I think couples struggle with because they in their own personal routine. Go ahead, babe.
Well, I was gonna say, as far as other expectations, like before you were even with your spouse, what were some things that you expected of a spouse?
That's a good conversation to have. I think that's a date night conversation because I
Yeah.
think sometimes we get in relationships thinking this person is going to be the person that I thought they was going to be because they made me feel good.
Mm-hmm.
We've had a couple of experiences together and they made me feel comfortable, or they made me feel safe, or they made me feel
That's what I
a
was gonna
certain kind
say.
of way.
I know for number one for me, I always wanted to feel safe. like that was the number one expectation for me.
Right. So when I make you feel safe at first, all your other expectations get put on the back burner. You know what
Yeah,
I'm
because
saying?
like that's my leading one.
Absolutely. So, and that's the same. Like I always tell people all the time, I wanted somebody that will actually like who I am
Mm-hmm.
without me having to put on a show or put on a performance. Like they like the regular Cortez, that the guy that comes in the door or that comes around and they just like me as a person. That was my biggest thing. So,
Yeah.
when someone meets that first expectation, how do you continuously work on the other expectations? Because once you feel safe and you good and you
Like,
secure,
cool.
you know what I mean, you
Now let's
good
work on.
now, right?
Yeah.
But if you never say anything,
How will they know?
how would they know? And that goes into the
Nobody will know.
communication piece. It's
Yeah.
like, how do you communicate these things, guys? Like I said, it's cool. Like you get an example, you did a love language, you know what I mean, and things like that. Or you could say, hey, I'm gonna talk to him about it. But how do you do that?
You
How
know what? I
how
was
do you
gonna
get
say.
started? Go ahead.
I think that once it comes up in whatever situation, it's never a good idea. I'm not gonna say never. For me, it's not a good idea to bring it up while I'm upset about it, like you said.
Yep. I like
I need
that.
to write it down and talk to you about it when I'm feeling better because I'm gonna come off as barking.
Yeah,
Um,
that's good.
instead. But does it happen like that all the time?
Right. And
Absolutely
and that's
not.
what I was gonna ask you next. Okay, so like, okay, we know. So I'm a big intentional guy. That's my word, y'all.
Yeah.
If y'all hear me say it a bunch of times, that's what I do right now. I'm stuck on that word. So if we're intentional, right, about that. So like if so this is kind of something you got to do on your own. If you know for a fact that that's the way you need to process things, you need to make sure that you are doing things daily to make sure you process them that way.
Yeah.
Because if you're mature enough to say, I need to write them down before I say it, or I need to do something before I bring it to the attention of my spouse, I think it will be very, very crucial to you and the communication and the way that is delivered if you actually do that. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
I think two things need to happen. Like I said, I need to not address it immediately. Either I could not address it immediately, one, and address it later, or two, figure out how to address it immediately, but in a better way. Like
Yeah.
I can not be on 12, like wanting to communicate with you why I'm mad in this moment because otherwise it's just going to be a volatile situation.
Yeah, if I can be honest with myself, I always tell myself to stay calm.
Yeah.
So like I'll be like, okay, stay calm before you say something, Tez. Like just make sure you're not like take out all of this. Try your best. Let's say that. Try your best, Cortez, to take out every single sassy,
Ooh,
frustrated, petty,
all that stuff happens
sarcastic.
immediately though.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
You got
You have to back out your steps. It's
fix your
like,
body, Tez. That's my
yeah.
thing. Fix your body before you go in because we've had a conversation. So that's another thing. Like if you're on expectations, right, and you guys have already had this conversation, like this is where I get frustrated. Is like if we already talked about it, then it is. I should see evidence of you working on that
And changing it.
and right and try to change it because you know that you're going to get the best spouse out of that.
Do
If
you
that
know
makes
one
sense.
thing that I like have minimum tolerant about from you? Like, what's one thing I do not like that you do
Well, I know
to
you
me
don't.
in argument?
In an argument, I
Yes.
guess maybe something with my body.
Body language is second to it, but
Is it the rolling of my
no, that's body
eyes?
language. The
Oh,
first thing that I'm like, once you start saying these,
no, I don't know.
I
What?
shut down.
What is
Yes,
it?
you do.
What is it?
Cursing at me.
Oh, cussing. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah.
I'm
Cussing.
like,
And you know how hard it is. I
control,
don't
alt,
listen.
delete.
Listen. Let me tell you something. I was raised in a family that uses potty words a lot. You know what I mean? So thanks to this woman, I'm probably more filtered than I've ever been in my life. And if you guys know anything about me, when I get with some of my best friends, it is bad.
Let them fly.
I just let them fly. So I've been working on that so much.
I think
But
that's the thing. Like, I don't curse when I'm upset. I curse when I'm relaxed, like maybe
shoot,
chilling with my friends or
yeah.
girl.
Yeah, I know it. It sounds
but
it sounds weird
it's
too.
not an
Um,
angry thing for me because once you yell and curse at
it's
me,
it's
it's a
not even an angry thing for me
no, I'm
though.
talking about in argument.
Yeah, yeah, but even in argument, it's not so. Put like,
And that's what I'm saying.
how do I?
I equate it as
Yeah, there you
angry,
go.
and you're just trying to express yourself. But I don't feel like that.
So like, I think naturally when I get frustrated, like I tell people all the time, and naturally when I get frustrated, the first thing I say is like,
what the?
yeah, like what the, you know what I mean?
I'm like, who
You know
you
what I
talking
mean? You know what I'm
to?
saying? You know what I'm saying? Like that kind of, you know what I'm
Nah,
saying? Get
nah,
up
fam.
out of here. Like
None of that. Shut
naturally
down.
that's just what you do, right? So when your spouse expects you not to use those words or whatever, you gotta be quick. And I'm talking from experience now. So now you gotta be quick. And she'll hear me like, man, what the look,
But then
girl,
all that
you
breathing
know what I'm
and
saying? But
that's the
see,
body
that's
language.
the
But I
problem
know
though.
that you're
Exactly.
calming yourself down.
Yeah,
But
I
in
was.
the moment,
Yeah, I was
I
about to
don't care
give you.
about none of
Yeah, I
it.
was about to give you kudos,
I
but you just
know.
kind of messed
I
that up.
already know.
But what I was saying was, I was gonna give her kudos because now that we had that talk before, she
Mhm.
knows what to look for. So if I bleep myself out, if I try to avoid the word, she knows for it. You know, she's like, okay, he's
I
probably
know
trying
what
not
he's
to
trying
cuss.
to
You know what I'm
do.
saying? But then you literally just said it. Now you're looking
However,
for something else
yeah,
because
I'm
you've
like, see,
been
there you go,
upset.
right there. See,
Yeah.
look at your left eyebrow. See, look
Absolutely.
at
Absolutely. And it's hard to just let that
it
go.
is.
And it's not just you. Let get it twisted. I mean, men do it. If put like this, if a man ever says, let me tell you something.
Oh
Good,
Lord.
listen, good men, right? Good men, good husbands. This is who I'm talking to. I ain't talking to you trash husbands, but I'm talking to you good husbands. All the good husbands. And I want the good wives to listen. A lot of good husbands really try to be their best. They really every day they try to be their best. When you communicate something with them, they really, if they're a good husband, and I don't need to define that, you know who you are. If you a
Mhm.
good husband, then when your wife says something to you, you take that into consideration and you like, you know what? I gotta get, you know what I mean? Let me try to work. I'm gonna try to work this out. You know what I'm saying? In
Yeah.
some kind of way. I don't really like what she's trying to have me do. And maybe I could talk to her about that later. You know what I'm saying? But let me take a deep breath real quick and let me figure out, what it is. And this is like all through expectations. Is like, I told, like I was telling you about the husband I was talking to a couple weeks ago. The thing I kept telling him, I said, dude, you have to figure out what she wants. And sometimes that takes a conversation. Sometimes it takes her, letting her stress out. Like, let her just go out. Let her just be like mad at you and just say, look, I'm tired of this. I'm tired of that. And then
And,
you just listen.
but
Like,
also,
and don't say nothing.
yeah,
Just
I was gonna
listen.
say, even if you ask her, it may not be the day she's gonna tell you what she wants. It's just like whenever she truly feels like talking about it.
So let me interject there and say that's true to a certain extent, because I think we probably talking about two different moments now. So I think I'm talking about more of if it's been lingering on for a
Right.
while.
I'm just talking about if you just
And
randomly
yeah, right,
asking
right,
me.
right. But I think like if it's lingering around and it's like noticeably, and put like this, if I came to you and said, look, I don't know what you're going through, but this make it, I'm getting upset now because I'm trying to figure out. And
And
then if
you
you
gonna take it
say
down a notch.
no, right. But babe, chill, first of all, because you gonna take it down a
You
notch.
gonna take it
Because
down a
what I'm
notch.
telling you is that when someone is having that kind of somebody's having that kind of frustration, it is true that you get fed up. So let's put the
Yeah.
shoe on your foot. If I'm messed up, you trying to figure out something about me, and you like, okay, I think it's time. It done lingered long enough, and blah 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 blah. You gonna have to talk to me and all of that type of stuff. So when you go there, right? It is your expectation is to get that out of me at some point in this conversation. And if you don't get the whole thing out, you need to get
But
something you can
all I
hook
was
on
saying
and
was
move on.
it's just the way you approach your spouse.
Facts. And I agree with
And
you.
that's all I'm saying.
I agree
Don't
with you.
come at me like, hey, you've been mad for 3 days. What's wrong with you?
Absolutely.
Or come to me and say, babe,
Hey, what's wrong?
I noticed
What is
something.
wrong? Yeah, are you okay? That's what
Something's up.
I think that's what I've been doing that. Like, babe, are you
Hold
okay?
my hand.
Yeah, are
And
you okay?
ask me
Different things.
for me.
And no. I think, babe, I think you're right.
Just
Like
touch and
I
ask.
think you're right because that goes back. It made me think of the love language and physical touch
Mm-hmm.
because people always think physical touch is always sexual intimacy, and
Mm-hmm.
that's not what that is. Sometimes, like it literally is.
I told you, hug. The
Yeah, or I just
hugs
hold
are
my
just.
hand, or just say, "Hey, come put your hands on my shoulders for a second." And listen, I always stress this: vice versa. Men need back rubs, okay? Men,
Don't say
all
it
right. Like
don't say it like
I'm
that.
just saying, like, geez, Louise, like, and they'll say they don't need it, but if you come and like, it ain't saying that I need it all the time. But if you see I'm really frustrated sometimes, and men are different, so sometimes you can touch people, sometimes you can't. But when, like, you find out when it's like a good time to be like, I'm gonna give you a hug or I'm
Hey,
gonna hold your hand. You know what I'm saying, for a quick second.
question.
Go
Do
ahead.
we have our is there a way in that app to see what our very first love languages like results were?
No, but I remember.
I'm gonna have
So
to
I
figure
thought
it
was
out.
so. And we don't mean to stress on love languages. It was just we're actually we like advocates for it. Like, so we
We
do it a
retook
lot.
it.
Yeah. So
Um,
like I remember the first time on the first season. One of my biggest things. My first one was at words of affirmation. Right. So words of affirmation was really, really big for me. And then when we took it again, that's like third. Like, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, whoa, what happened? And then I think about my life. I'm like, okay, the album came out. I've been getting a good response from the album. My wife has been in music videos with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, we did so much stuff to where that cup has been filled a little bit.
yeah, your
But
love tank
yeah, so
in that
yeah, my
area has
tank has been
yeah.
filled a little bit. So now it's like, what area that I can feel like, that I probably need more work with, and why do I feel this way with my wife? And then next thing you know, figure out it was quality time that was the first one. And I'm like, what? We just spent a lot of time together. How is it still quality time?
It's like I said, it's not the time itself. It's is it quality time. If it's 10 minutes that we have for each other between you coming home, changing your clothes, and then going back out to take the kids football and cheer practice, in those 10 minutes, are they spent as an argument? Or are they spent as me scrolling on my phone, you scrolling on your phone, watching TV? Or are we going to say, babe, how was your work day?
Yeah.
How was
And
your work day?
I'm a big believer in that, because when words of affirmation was my big thing, quality time was what I meant by quality time.
Yeah.
Because I used to always say that, like, okay, we spend 5 minutes together, but these 5 minutes we're arguing, or we
Right.
spend 2 minutes together and you literally mad at me 30 seconds into the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
So those things are key. I think people just need to pay attention. You know what I'm saying? Pay attention to those things, because those are expectations. You expect to come home and like deal with happiness. Like, who wants to come home and be mad all the time? Like, like that's what I mean when I say communicate your expectations, is like literally talk about them. Find a way to talk about them. They got games out here now, y'all. Like, they got games where you can, we played one of them at the
Yeah,
retreat.
what
Like,
was it?
you
Let's
just
talk or
yeah, like
something
you could
like
just
that.
pull out some games,
And we
man, on a
did it
date
as a
night.
whole group, and we
Yeah.
all answered the same
Come
questions, or we
on.
split up and had two questions each. And we
Yeah.
learned a lot. I feel like I learned a lot about you.
Yeah. So I mean, that's what I'm
And I
saying.
learned a lot about me too. Like, even in taking this again, I was shocked the first time that my physical touch was so high, but this time it was even higher because, like you said, I equate physical touch to sexual touch, but it's literally a hug, a handhold, a kiss on the cheek, or sitting next to you, or anything. Like, I understand that more and more as I take these.
Yep. And everything that you want in a relationship, I feel like talking about it always helps. So like, I mean, and guys, like, we're talking about like the smallest things. It could just be like how much food is on my plate. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, say for example, you try and lose
Ooh,
weight.
y'all, listen here.
Like, you try to lose some weight.
Black woman fixing
And
a black
and
man's
and the
plate.
black woman always takes
We
care of
gonna
their king.
double. We
They
gonna
take
double
care.
scoop it.
Black queens always take care of their kings. It's just
Double servings.
ain't no way around it. Ain't no
Restaurant
other way to
portions.
put it. They gonna take care of their kings because that's just what they
What we
do.
used
You know what
to.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's the portion amount. And it's like, hey babe, not trying to, boy, it could be anything. It could be like, I'm talking about, like, so can I break it down to you? Because this is season 2, so I'm gonna keep it all the way
Oh,
gutter with
well,
it.
let's
Can
hear
even
it.
it can even be sexual expectations as well. You know
Okay.
what I'm saying? So it can be like, hey, I want you to hit it here. I want you to hit it there.
That's a
I
good
want you to
thing,
move
a
it
good
there. I
question.
want you
I
to
don't
move
think
it
we
there.
even
You
brought
know what I'm
up.
saying? I want you to flip it, rub it, and you know what I'm saying? Do all of that. You know what I'm saying? And you don't know.
I don't think we even brought
Mm.
up the number, because that's a thing too. How many times a week do you
Yeah.
expect
Come on, babe.
your
Yeah.
spouse
To get
to have
busy.
sex?
Yeah, y'all. I mean, are we getting busy when we busy? Like, how, is quickies
And
cool?
and
Like,
I'm
I
not
mean, like,
saying
what's the
plan it,
deal? You
because
know what I'm
like
saying?
that's not a thing for our relationship to plan it. Because
Wait a minute now. They don't need
no,
to know too much
I'm
now.
just saying, don't plan. For me, that's not fun. Planning
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
What?
yeah, yeah. I
Anyway,
understand.
so, but if that works for you and your relationship, y'all planning y'all Monday,
Nah, don't
Wednesday,
plan it.
Friday.
I will agree
But
with you on that.
not for
Like,
me.
I
Not
mean,
for
like,
us.
I think planning it. I guess it works to a certain. Like, if you're talking about, like, I guess if it's like a
Set
date.
days, that's weak.
No, wrong. I'm saying, like, if if it's a date night, and you got a cool date night set up for your wife or your husband.
Date night,
You
you
like,
supposed to.
right, but I'm just saying
But
that's
that's the
planning.
expectation.
Right, that's the expectation, but
But
sometimes
maybe
expectations
it's
go
not.
wrong.
Yeah.
Okay, the food could be bad. Y'all could have went to the
Lord.
wrong restaurant, and your spouse is blowing up in the bathroom
Oh
because it was the
God.
wrong stuff. You know what I mean? So it could just go wrong. But what I'm saying is, talk about those things, because sexual expectations are, woo, like, I think. I think if you talk about sexual expectations, that is a tough conversation, because
Very.
now we're talking about pleasing. We're not even talking about just the intimacy point. We're talking about pleasing and how and what is pleasing to the other person. And it can be new things that are pleasing to the other person. It could be things that they want to try. You know what I'm saying? It could be things that
That's
you
the
guys
thing.
never
Let's
did
not get
before.
stagnant.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and maybe they just want to be stagnant. Maybe they don't want all of that new stuff. Like, seriously, don't think like everybody wants the
I'm
new
not saying
hot,
that.
fresh stuff. Like, everybody ain't trying to do all that. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So look, I just had to edit myself. So, you know what I mean? But seriously, like, I don't want to put that, because I don't want people to hear this and be like, oh,
Oh,
we need to always
spice
try
it up.
to
We need to
spice
change
it
it
up.
up.
Like, no,
Let-
you actually need to talk about your
Right.
expectations for
Number
sex.
one.
And then that way you would see, okay, if we do spice it up, these are the levels, these are the steps that we need to take, you know what I mean, in order for that,
Levels.
yeah, in order for
For
my
sure.
spouse to be comfortable. That's how, I don't know. I'm just like that.
That's
Like,
true.
I just
I know
want,
some stuff that's like an absolute no,
yeah,
and you know some stuff that's an absolute no for me.
right.
We expect to not ask each other about those things.
Not
ever
even just
again.
ask about it. It's just like,
Or
we're not
even
gonna
bring
do
them
that.
up.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? We're not gonna do about it. You know what I'm saying? That's not something we did, because you know why? We talked about it. Actually,
Exactly.
we actually had a conversation about it and said, hey, what about have you ever do you think about, like, nah, I ain't about to do that. Oh no, no, not in our bedroom. And what stays and what, listen, and I'm gonna keep it all the way 100 with you, y'all. I really hope y'all are listening to the Hamptons right now.
Come on,
Like,
fam.
like, for real. Like, I'm saying this. Whatever happens in your marriage bedroom stays in your marriage bedroom.
That's it.
I'm gonna keep it gutter. Y'all can do whatever y'all want to, and it ain't none of the Hamptons business. I don't care what y'all do, how y'all like it. It ain't none of our business,
At
and it
all.
ain't for you to tell. Sorry.
That's
I mean, I
it.
know you want to be cool. I know you want to be trendy and all of this, but it ain't really nothing for you to tell. You do what you do. You know what I'm saying?
do.
If you're giving advice or something like that, and you're put in a situation like that, still, it's up to you to give that advice comfortably, if your spouse is comfortable with you talking about that. But really, whatever happens in your marriage bedroom is really on y'all. So expectations can go anywhere, and that's
Yeah.
what I want everybody to remember when we're talking about expectations,
I
baby.
like Chelsea's comment. She said this a little bit ago, but I wanted to show it. I expect my husband to do what I say. LOL JK. It's a little bit of JK. I don't know if that's real or not.
Now, can a husband say that?
You could, but it don't mean
All
nothing.
right, then. See, exactly. You see what I'm saying? Let's just be for real now. So now here's the big part. I think this
Okay.
is a good conversation starter as well. So, babe, what happens if your spouse refuses to meet your expectations, and how do you handle that? So, like, you expect to, let's break it down to what I said. You coming home and you like, I want you to greet me and this is and that, and your spouse says something like, I say hi, I'm just tired.
So they're not refusing to
No,
to
they're
meet your
refusing. No,
expectations.
because your expectations for you to come over here and give me a kiss.
Oh, okay.
And I'm saying to you, while I say hi, I'm just tired.
Well, then you start the kiss to them, and then they may start reciprocating. Maybe they will learn behavior off of your behavior. Just like you said about uh me and the curse words, you have learned off of what I expected. I mean, that's not an overnight switch. Like you're just gonna be like, okay, I'm cold turkey, not cursing in arguments no more. So it didn't happen immediately, and I knew that you were working on it. So I didn't get frustrated immediately, But at this point, we 10 years in of
Mm-hmm.
marriage,
Mm-hmm.
you know that I can't stand that, and you have taken it down a whole lot. So it's a gradual change. But if somebody's just flat out like, nah, I ain't doing it,
Yeah.
that's a hard conversation.
Yeah, I mean, but and it's crazy for us to even have it because people are like that though. Like people will literally just be jerks like in relationships. And it's not that they'll be jerks because um but yeah, they're just jerks because they don't know no better. Like
Yeah.
like I tell people all the time, I don't treat everybody like so my wife gets special privileges. Okay. She's privileged when it comes to our relationship. You know what I mean? So and I hope I get special privileges.
Period.
And what
You
I mean
do.
by that is,
I'm not treating everybody else like I'm treating you.
yes, I can't treat everybody the same way I treat my wife. Like, no. I mean, I will respect every woman. I will respect every queen that's black. But
Every person.
yes, every person, every black king, every person in
Every
general,
person.
I will treat you with respect and I love you to death. But when it comes to your comparison to my wife, I will definitely make sure she gets the benefit of the doubt. You know what I mean? So what I mean by that is I'm not gonna treat like if somebody if some I think I even said this to you before. Like I was like, babe, do you know what I do to people that
Oh yeah,
do
when
you
we're in
know what I
arguments, you like
not even
I
arguments.
or
I'm
just in
saying
regular life. I don't even deal with
like I
people.
said, like and I really want like I don't even be trying to be mean. I'm just like, do you like if you look at my life from your lens and look at me, you could probably say like, no, he really doesn't. Like
Yeah.
when you really are just not like rocking with me, and I can tell that you're not rocking with me, and you giving me certain kind of attitudes, and you like being weird. I don't mess with you. Like I don't not even a little bit. I don't care about your kid's birthday. I don't care about
Woo,
your birthday. I
that's
don't
rough.
care about your church. I don't care about none of that. Like if you're going to be that way towards me, then I'm going to literally love you from a distance
Yeah,
and
and
I'm
you
going to
know what?
keep it
I
moving.
would say we just don't really give other people the chance to fix themselves
Yeah.
with us. Like if you already wronged me, I see where you stand,
Right.
and that's just that. I don't expect any more out of you because you've already given me
Enough.
enough.
You gave me enough right
But
there.
with your spouse, you're like, okay, listen here, we got to do this thing for life.
Mm-hmm.
So what we gonna do?
Yeah.
Like I gotta change, you gotta change.
Yeah. Like, you know, I mean,
Something's gotta happen.
oh, you
And
said
that's
a
a compromise.
oh, baby, you said a word.
Change?
Yes, people be afraid of that. Like when you talk about expectations, the first thing I think of is there's going to be some sort of a change. And what I mean by that, we always, you know how you I think you said this earlier with expectations. You get a negative connotation out of that when you hear somebody say, I
ain't
expect
finna
you
do
to
what you told me to do.
yeah, right. So then it's like when it goes to change, they do the same thing. They don't think that there's such thing as positive change. Like
Yeah.
there is a such thing for you to be better than what you were. Like I'm not going to treat you this way because I've got these results from you. So now you're asking me to treat you better, which then will make our relationship better, which then means I'll probably walk around here a little bit more happier. You know what I'm saying? Like I'll be the person that you want me to be because I made that shift, that change, that adjustment, or however people want to say it. But don't be, I don't
It's
be
all
afraid.
in the
It's all changed.
synonyms.
You all change, cuz that's change. You
It's
changing.
change.
Adjusting, you're changing. Okay. You ain't doing what you did before. You know what I'm saying? So if you really think about that, don't be afraid to change, especially for your relationship. Like,
Yeah.
come on. Like, why would I not change
You
for
know
my
what?
wife?
I don't
That's
know
weird.
what it is. how we get so stubborn and so like why do we like fight each other on certain little things like that? Like
What do you mean?
just little bitty things. Like your expectations may be small, but we blow them out of proportion, vice
Mm.
versa. It's like, is this the beginning of him trying to tell me what to
To do?
do?
Ooh. Is that what you'd be thinking?
I'm just saying for
Mm.
anybody.
Too
Like,
deep.
is this the
Mm.
beginning of him trying to tell me
You
what
trying
to
to
do? He
control what
ain't
I
my
think?
daddy. I know I
Ooh.
didn't say that a
Yeah, you
couple
didn't said
times.
that, and
I didn't drop that
sometimes
one.
I just laugh at you when you say it because I'm
I
like,
dropped that one a
"What,
couple
girl?
times.
Your
I have.
daddy? Yeah, I don't, that's weird. I'm not trying to be your
I
daddy. Like,
have.
what are you talking about?" But no, seriously, I think that is a good point because that's vice versa as
That's what I'm
well.
saying.
It's not that I don't think you're trying to be
It's
my
the big.
mama, but it's just like, whoa,
Who are
are
you
you?
talking
Wait a
to? Who
minute,
are
why
you
are you?
telling?
Because the thing I tell people all the time is like, I will do anything. Like I was saying, I do anything for my wife. So all you got to
Until she
do,
asks you in this tone.
yeah, like all you
And
got to do
that's
is just tell me or
yeah.
ask me. Like, you do you not understand that's your privilege right there for like
Yeah.
our relationship is that I would do anything for you. When I say that, I meant that. Like I would do anything for you. You know what I mean? There's things I would be hesitant about
Y'all
that
see, y'all
that
heard this.
there are
All
things
wind goes.
that I may say like, hold on, babe, I don't know about it, but I would do anything for you. So all you have to do is just ask me the right way. Like you ask me the right way, you probably get an answer
You
that
know
you would
what?
be
We
so
should
surprised.
treat our spouses like we were teenagers asking our parents for something like, let me make sure he's in a good mood and I'm gonna ask him at the right time.
Yeah, but you know that messes up
But that does
sometimes.
mess up.
That
It
messes
does
up
mess
sometimes
up.
because when the parents called on, like, girl,
Girl,
go sit
sit
down,
down.
Jessica. Ain't nobody about to go get nothing for you, girl. You ain't going over Cortez's house, and he ain't picking you
Uh,
up. All of that. So when they
you don't
catch
even gotta
on,
take me.
yeah, right. He gonna pick me up. He can't come over here. So all of those type of things, you gotta be mindful of. That's another good word I think I've been on. Intentional and mindful. Like be mindful of the simple fact that someone expects something out of you, and don't be afraid of expectations. Don't be afraid of them. Like don't say, okay, well, people expect a lot out of you, and it could be different. Like, no, listen, I feel like it's okay
You know,
to
go ahead.
go ahead. No, you good. I'm
I
sorry.
was
I'm
just
talking.
gonna say also don't lower your expectations because you think that your spouse can't achieve them. Like
And that
y'all
goes
have
to the
to meet
change.
a middle ground and a compromise
Yes, and
and
change. I'm gonna
change.
say it. I'm gonna
Yeah.
say it a bunch of times because people don't want to do it.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm talking to the men here because we probably have a tough time with this.
No, I have
And
a really
I
hard
know,
time.
but like a lot of husbands typically have a tough time with the change part, and because we are men, and like I said, sometimes when you're a man, you the things that women say to you, and the things that your wife may say to you, sometimes it tests your manhood. It ain't even it's about that pride. Shout out to J. Cole. Pride is the devil is my song, but like that pride part is real for men. It may be real for women,
That's a good point.
but pride for a man, when you test a
Oh,
true
test my
man's
gangster.
manhood or gangster, like that's the first thing they go to. It's like, wait, what? Hold on, wait.
But no, for
Why are
real,
you
I
doing
really
that?
feel
You know what I
maybe
mean?
you're. I'm not gonna say maybe you're just really an amazing husband when it comes to that kind of stuff.
What you
I
mean?
feel like you will change, like you said, you would do anything for me, and I feel like your change is quicker than most,
Because
even
guys,
coworkers or
yeah,
anybody.
guys are afraid of it. Guys
But
are afraid of it though.
so I feel like women. Some women probably gonna be like, "Girl, shut up." I feel like we are entitled
Ooh.
in relationships. So we expect our expectations to be met first before I can get to anybody else's list anyway.
Interesting.
Y'all gonna check all these boxes on my list.
Mm.
Kids and all. Like, I expect y'all's room to be clean before y'all go to Nana's. Like, y'all know every Friday or whatever Friday y'all get to go.
Mm.
I expect your rooms to be clean. I expect you to leave your shoes at the door. I expect y'all to not have toys in the living room. Y'all have 2 whole rooms to play in. Like, and I expect you to do certain things. And if they're not checked, then I got an attitude, and I'm not even looking at your list. If one or two things are not checked on mine.
Mm.
So I really think that
We said some tough words. We said entitled. We said pride.
I just feel
We said our
like
pride. I mean,
women are entitled first. And
in
I'm
relationships, right?
yes, and I'm gonna say spoiled.
Okay.
I'm spoiled. I say that. I used to not say it, but I am, and that's
I'm
why.
so glad you realized that.
You know what? Rewind the last 15 seconds and delete
Yeah,
them.
yeah. No,
But
no.
for real, I really have gotten to the point where I'm like, okay, Jess, you just really did a whole lot. You really did too much to get your way out of this silly argument.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
And it just turns into a bigger argument for
Look
no
at you,
reason.
girl. Look at you, girl. Changing.
A change gonna come. Let me watch this back and
if they would
listen
just
to it
listen,
back.
that's what I'm saying. If they would just listen, I mean,
Ooh,
dang, it
child.
ain't that deep. But what I'm saying is, I think a lot of times, with the guys is like in the pride is like, like, man, that's why I said it's just how you say stuff. Like, you don't have to talk to me. If I already said I do, if I move mountains and move the world for you, you don't have to talk to me that way. Like,
For
you
me,
just don't have to.
I talked to you that way because it wasn't done when I wanted it done.
Understood.
That's my number one issue.
Understood. But
then I'd be like, her, I get
but
it.
at the
That's why I got an
same
attitude.
but at the same time, see, this is where it's tricky for women though, because since men don't have a lot of expectations all the time, that is the same problem that we have with the wives sometimes, is because I don't have a lot of
I
expectations.
don't ask you to do a
right.
lot. So why you
when
can't just do it when I ask you
so
to
when
do
I
it?
ask you just this one or two times and you can't never do it, but you want to come back and give me, a lot of hell for not doing these things that you ask for me to do all the time, and I asked you to do something one time. See, now my pride's in the way because I really want to say something to you, but I'm just trying to keep everything
I can't
cool.
do the one thing you asked me to do because I'm doing all this other stuff that I asked you to do.
That's cute and all, but where's the results gonna come?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
It just gets back and forth.
Yeah, so so where's the results? I mean, because
I'm gotta compromise and change.
I'm telling you,
like
this is. I think, babe. I think this is why I don't have a lot of friends, because I think, like at one point, I'm just like, okay, so what's the result? Like, what? All right,
what are we getting at?
You
here?
mad? I'm mad. Or you don't like what I did? I ain't like what you did. Okay, I can apologize and let's get this move on. But you don't want my apology. You don't want anything from me. So what do you expect from this conversation? Like, do you expect me to just listen to you?
From this conversation.
So if you don't expect anything, you ain't gonna get nothing.
Wait, I do expect you to listen and change it up for the next time I ask you something to do something. But out of this here conversation, it's null and void. It's just me venting at
so let me tell you something. Don't have it with me.
So do what I said when I said it.
That's cute, but don't have it with me.
Why you keep on saying that's cute?
Because I'm saying in general, like, that's cute to to just say it because you want to say it, but don't just say stuff to be saying it without no results. Like, that's pointless.
But I'm saying it in hopes that there will be some results.
No, but you just said you didn't want anything out of the conversation. You were just venting. So if you just
if I'm venting and you don't hear nothing that's a gem for you to be like, oh,
that's an expectation. You just told me an expectation. I'm telling you this so next time it happens, you don't bloop. Or, I'm going to put it like this. I'm telling you this and I'm venting to you because the next time this happens, I'm just showing you what my reaction might be. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So there actually is an expectation out of the conversation. So there is point to you saying something and venting.
I guess so. I guess in that point,
no, babe,
I did lower my expectation.
I know, but babe, but what I'm saying is, everybody
to a vent.
I know, but everybody don't think like me though. So when I'm saying that is
You're right.
I'm the type of person to just be like, okay, I'm trying to listen to you. Mm-hmm. Okay. So
intentionally.
like I'm right. Intentionally, I'm trying to hear what you're saying and trying my best to fix it. You ain't worried about right now. Cool. I ain't worried about right now either. You're just gonna be mad, and I'm just gonna do what you say after you wanted it done. But you're just gonna be mad. And I can't
even want you to do it anymore.
I don't care what you want no more when you already yelled at me. I don't care what you talking about. Like you can yell at me all you want, and you can be mad. Guess what? I'm gonna get it done. done, you still gonna be mad, and it's
No.
done. No one cares. Okay. At this point, I done messed up. I'm done. Ain't nothing I can do about it. So the only thing I can do is try to fix it from here on out. If it ain't gonna work, it ain't gonna work. Sorry. We'll just work on it next time. Now I know what not to do next time. But guess what? This goes right back to my conversation.
You gonna mess
That
up.
one time that the husband is asking you one thing, don't you dare go sassafras on me about me getting upset because you didn't meet my expectations. Because that's the thing about relationships that's so powerful. Sometimes we really forget that there's two people. We always think about that
And
one
that's why I
person.
said that
We
women are
always
entitled in relationship. We're entitled in relationship because, like I said, if all the boxes don't get checked off my list, I can't look at yours yet. I can't look at it at the same time,
and that's
a problem.
and I'm gonna be really deep with y'all, and I don't mean this, but I'm telling you too deep, and that's why a lot of men and husbands have mental health problems
Mm-hmm.
because
Because none of their
I'm talking
needs
about
are being
yeah,
met.
and I'm talking about the good ones. I ain't talking like I said,
Yeah.
I ain't talking about you trash, man. I'm not talking about y'all. The ones be like, oh, well, let them go cheat on my wife. Like, nah, I ain't talking about you trash. I'm talking about the people who's gonna be like, yo, I'm really trying here and I'm just failing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what to do, and I continuously make my wife mad unintentionally. So now you think I'm being intentional,
So when
but
you
it's
say you
really
don't
being
know what to do, but you do know what to do.
Yes. Yes. I'm not gonna answer that like it's a right or wrong answer. Yes. Like, I mean, yes.
You said
And
I
I want
need
you
I
and I
need
want you so again, you're putting more pressure on the husband. Same. So yes, same. I mean, like this is what I said. This is a relationship here. This ain't no wives know everything, the good wife, happy life. Okay, that's cute and all.
That's what I
But
remember. I said that to
yeah,
you.
but
I said y'all
you
got to be happy too.
you got a long listen, you go a long way if mommy and daddy or husband and wife is happy. Like you go a long way if both people are happy in relationships. Okay. I don't know where that came from.
Happy wife, happy
I guess
life.
it was a generational thing. I guess it was just how the world was going at one point. But from here on out, like, look,
now we all gonna be happy up
no,
in here.
man, my wife is gonna be happy, but I'm gonna tell you now, you gonna see a happy husband too. Like
Yeah.
I'm gonna be up here, having a good old time myself. I'm not about to just be married and be miserable. Who does that? Like what? This is my life too, woman. This ain't just your relationship, it's my relationship. I expect things to get done too. And maybe, like you
That's
said,
the
and
thing,
maybe
too.
and maybe not.
That's it.
And maybe not. Hold on, babe. And maybe not, like you said, all the things you may have more, so that I can agree upon. You may have more, but there also is something to say when if you have all them things and you ain't checking none of your husband's box.
Yeah. That's why I said we have to do it in tandem.
Yeah, that's a good one. I like that.
Check each other's boxes.
Yeah, man, because that's
so that we can have one of these here.
Yeah, I think happy spouse, happy house. Yeah, I like that,
That's
Candace.
it. Good job.
And I think we just really need to be again intentional about stuff like that. Like we can't get caught up in thinking, I gotta be right, I gotta be right, I gotta be right.
Yeah.
And I agree with you. Yes, as a wife, you should be right. Like I got you. You know what I'm saying? That's not a big deal because I'm a good husband, so it's not that big of a deal. But just remember that if you want me to make sure you right, there's something your husband's gotta be good. You know what I'm saying? Like I gotta be in a good space. You know what I'm saying? So those little few boxes that I got, you ain't gotta check them all. See, because that's how good husbands work. See, good husbands work like I'm not even asking you to check all my boxes because that is what is that? Irrational request. Like you're not gonna be able to check all my boxes. It's just not gonna happen.
You don't even got no boxes. You just
See what I'm
said you got
saying?
like
You
two
don't think
boxes.
you didn't think
That's
I
what
got?
you said.
You said, listen, you just said you don't think you didn't
You
think I got
said
none.
that.
Listen, you said they only got none, but you got two.
No, but you said all my boxes like it's a whole bunch.
I'm just saying it could be. Yeah, I ain't that are important. Like, I mean, there's probably like two that's important. Everything else, I ain't tripping about, but That could be
I
too.
need to not trip
Or you need to
about a
put your
few
boxes in order.
and prioritize
Yeah.
my
Ooh,
boxes.
come on, prioritize them boxes, y'all. What did JC say? Keep the main thing, the main thing, y'all.
Thank you,
Come
Dr.
on.
JC Campbell.
Gosh, just push. How about that?
Push.
Hey,
Hey.
shout out to JC.
Shout
Doctor,
out.
Doctor JC
JC
Campbell.
Campbell.
Make sure
Yes.
we shout him out and make sure you go get his book
On
Push
Amazon right
on
now.
Amazon right now.
Push.
Absolutely. All right. So, you know, this was a good conversation about expectations. If you did not see this whole thing, of course, this thing is going to be up, streaming on platforms, streaming on, I think it's
YouTube
YouTube, iTunes, and things like that. So you will be able to see the video back, the
and listen
conversation
to the
back, and you
audio.
will also be able to listen to the audio. Now, what's very important about this season is that we're going to continue to push the level. We're gonna do some things that are very, very interesting. We said it in the season opener, and we're gonna stick with it. So when you leave this conversation tonight, I think it'll be good for you between now and next week to talk to your spouse about what do
are
you
some
expect.
of your expectations?
Like, what did you expect from me in a situation? What do you expect of me as a husband, as a wife? What do you expect of our relationship? You know what I mean? These conversations are good because they keep you focused on what it is you need to focus on. And I say that to even say, if you know we want to be um, out of Kentucky in the next 2 years, that needs to be an expectation, or that needs to be a conversation that you have, because I expect to be out of Kentucky in 2 years. So let's make sure we're making the proper moves to do so. Like, let's not get distracted and be like, oh, I'm gonna do this. Like, it takes hard work, and I'm getting on my tail. Y'all know how it is. I'm getting too deep. But listen, you know how I get, because you gotta start motivating yourself every single day to get things right. I'm tired of seeing people struggle because they just want to struggle. You know what I mean? If you need help, get help. You know what I'm saying? If you need it, call me. I'll tell you to go get help. I'll give you resources. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we got people. We know people. It's cool. Reach out to me. Say something to me. Go. And then it's up to you, though, to make sure that's right. So it's up to you. If your wife has an expectation of you, it's up to you to get it done, cuz. And the same thing with your husband. Like, you know what I'm saying? If your husband has an expectation of you, you know what I'm saying, then make sure you get it done. Stop complaining. Stop whining. Stop trying to come up with a reason to be right. Like, don't do that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, really take it in consideration. And sometimes it won't be the next day. It won't be the next hour. It won't be, it might take a couple weeks. It might even take a month or two. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully it don't take a year, but
But even if it does work,
notice the change. Yep. Notice the change. If it's taking a week and you see those days are going by and your spouse is just trying, you can see they trying, even if it's just in their, like you said, body language, the way they talking to you and all of that, you'll appreciate those things. So if you see the change, love the change and appreciate the change, but make sure you have the conversation of what do you expect? What did you expect from me? You know what I mean? What did you expect from this situation?
And take the negative connotation of the word expectation out of your brain.
Absolutely.
Remember that you all are on a team together.
Team
Teamwork.
Last name. Team, whatever your last name
Team
is.
insert last name here.
Team, whatever your last name is. Y'all are a team, okay? So, you was about to say it. Teamwork makes that dream work. It really does.
And also, what was one of the things that is one of our things at work? Dang, I can't even remember. I'll think about it and get back with y'all. But it's one of our company, like, mission, not the mission statement, but one of our values. I can't think of it.
That's cool.
But I'll get back to y'all.
Yeah, just stay in tune with yourself. Stay in tune with your mind, body, and soul. Be mindful. Be intentional.
Assume positive intent.
Yeah.
When you're speaking with your spouse. Yep. They're not trying to knock you down.
Not all the time.
Sometimes. And they need to not. Yeah. Because y'all on the same team.
Yep.
That's it.
Y'all on the same team. So remember that, and make sure you guys follow us. We Ain't Goes on all social media. On Instagram and Facebook. Those are the pages you will get interaction from us. Our YouTube page, you can subscribe to that page. So every time we go live, we're going to be live on YouTube as well. And we're going to be live on Facebook as well. So it's good conversation. Make sure, you can't forget, get your wine, get your drink, you in your PJs. It don't matter. Make sure you post that picture so we post it and tag us so we
And
can read.
hashtag we ain't ghosts.
Yes, hashtag that we ain't ghosts, and we're
And
gonna reshare it, y'all.
yes,
We're gonna reshare it.
absolutely.
You support us, we're gonna support you. That's just
And
how it is.
reminders for our support, please get your local loot
Yes.
items into us with a little blurb. So
Yep. Give us a little
we got a
script.
surprise next week for y'all.
Absolutely. So thank you all so much for listening to We Ain't Ghosts. We will see y'all later, and you have an excellent and beautiful night.
Later.